I just saw a post on Facebook. A guy say he's 10 days sober. Do you still think I'm sexy? What the f?
Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drugging, you'll be fine.
Welcome back to Staying Sober with Papa Joey. I don't know what it is. Well, I think I do know what it is. Lately, my Facebook feed is being filled with all these sober groups. Sober lifestyle, sober now, sober this, sober that. So being curious that I am, I try to, I read some of this stuff. And like earlier today, I see this guy post, I'm 10 days sober. Do you still think I'm sexy? And I'm thinking back, when I was just 10 days sober, the last thing I was worried about was how I looked. I mean, I went through some shit on my last drunk. I was getting ready to get divorced as I was getting sober. And the last thing on my mind was how I looked or how other people thought I looked. All I wanted to do was try to make it through another day of staying sober. But unfortunately, too many people go on Facebook or Instagram and post this crap because, in my opinion, they want their ego stroked. There was another guy yesterday, I believe, 4 months sober. His shirt is off. 4 months sober, the gym is my therapy in meetings or something like that. And of course, I responded, well, I went to many AA meetings and I've been to some church groups and some other types of recovery. Never once did I see somebody walk in with their shirt off telling people, look at me, I'm jacked. One of the things I learned early on in sobriety was you got to let go of the ego. The ego can take you down. I've known a lot of people where their ego got in the way of their sobriety, and unfortunately, they ended up drinking and drugging again. Some made it back into, a sober lifestyle, a sober way of living. Others, unfortunately, didn't make it. And when I see all this crap on Facebook, and that's exactly what it is, it's crap. Now, they want to say it's a support group. It's bullshit, because sometimes in support groups, you got to be honest with people. However, many of these groups won't let you post anything where you call somebody out on their bullshit. Like when I mentioned to this guy, very calm, very nicely, got to be careful your ego, can cause your downfall. Oh man, people reprimanding me, you don't know what you're talking about. Keep up the good work, bro. And I'm like, seriously? I take my sobriety seriously. And years ago when I was getting sober, I did too. Especially my first year, went through a divorce, as I just said, like 2 or 3 months after, getting sober, living on my own for a while. All I could focus on was getting through the day without picking up a drink. And for a year, that's all they told me in AA to worry about. And of course, I did other things. I did work out. I did other things. But my main priority was trying to keep my head straight with all the shit that's been going on. And the last thing I was going to ask anybody is, how am I doing? Am I looking great? And that was one thing I liked about AA, because there were certain people that got to know me and they would call me out on my own bullshit. I used to, after a while, I got really good at, listening to people, especially people who were either new in the program or they were coming back. And really early on, and they would just get in and they started talking with, all the key words that everybody liked. They said how they were so happy they found their higher power, and they're getting so spiritually fit inside, and meeting makers make it, and I'm going to do my 90 and 90, and I'm going to work it. If you work it, you work it, or whatever the crap it was. I can't forget, it was such a long time ago. But I would say to myself, yeah, that person's going to drink again. And every time that type of person went out and drank again, because they were really concerned about what other people thought of them. And for me, I'm not making any excuses, but I kind of used alcohol to get through what some people used to think of me. I worried too much what other people thought of me. And I used alcohol to mask some stuff. I'm not blaming anybody. That's how I chose to deal with it. Could have went a different direction, but I chose alcohol. And then when I had to stop drinking because of issues, getting into trouble, getting arrested, little stuff like that, I finally had to say, hey, I had to grow up, put my ego aside, and do whatever I had to do. Now, of course, as I got, more secure in my sobriety, as I understood why Joey shouldn't put alcohol in him, and I was able to, start doing more things that I'd like to do, maybe going out, going to bars and stuff like that, because being a musician, I love music. I loved the nightlife. I didn't want to give that up. So I learned early on how to, go into a club and not drink. And then later on, I actually ran nightclubs, all in sobriety. But I had to be centered with my own sobriety. I had to understand why Joey doesn't drink. And I didn't give a shit what other people thought about me staying sober. So that helped me. There were people when I first got sober that said, Joey's not going to stay sober. There's no way. There is no way. I guess I could have got mad at them. I could have called them on their bullshit. But instead, I just said, all right, that's cool. I understand. For a long time, I told people, I was going to quit or I was going to control my drinking. Never did. So yeah, I can understand why they would think I couldn't make it. Nobody thinks that anymore. But then again, I don't walk around bragging that I'm sober. And going back to Facebook and some of these support groups or whatever on Facebook, you got to be careful. I mean, seriously. Beautiful woman on there the other day. I think she said she was 36 years old. Had maybe a year and a half of sobriety, which is good. I'm not saying there's anything wrong. But, with the low-cut shirt on and, her shirt open, exposing a little. I'm a year sober and 3 months, whatever. Do you think I could still get a day in a... and of course, all the guys, oh, I date you. Oh, baby, you're hot. Or, congratulations on your sobriety. And I was like, wow, these people don't have a clue, unfortunately, what it takes to really get sober and stay sober. Some of the people that I got sober with years ago, these are people who hit it pretty hard. And I don't know if some of these people that I see on Facebook really have gone through a lot of shit. Or maybe now it's like the cool thing to say, I'm not drinking anymore, I'm not drugging anymore, we're going to be in a support group, and everybody wants to post whatever they want to post. Everybody's looking for how many likes they can get. A lot of people are looking for that pat on the back. You're fantastic, you're doing great, I'm so proud of you. I can't stand when I see people type, I'm so proud of you. You don't know the person. You don't know anything about that person, but you're proud of them. For what? I used to mock myself when somebody'd say, Joey, hey, man, that's great. I'm proud of you. Proud of what? That I'm not being an asshole anymore? That I'm not abusing alcohol or myself anymore? Well, okay, you're proud, but I'm not proud of a lot of shit I did when I was drinking. So I'm just happy I don't anymore. I'm good with that. I don't need somebody to give me the pat on the back. And the reason I started this channel, a while back ago, and I wrote this book, Don't Drink or Use No Matter What, and no matter what means no matter what, is to try to help people who are serious about getting sober and staying sober. I know a lot of people that got sober for a little while. Unfortunately, I know a lot of them that didn't stay sober. See, the key is get sober and stay sober, not get sober, go back out again, get high again, whatever. Hopefully make it back again if you want to. I mean, I can't make anybody get sober or whatever, but if you want to, hopefully you make it back without creating so much havoc in your life or getting in any trouble so you can straighten your shit out again. But unfortunately, there's people that they just don't get it. And that's what I hate a lot about social media. Social media, I guess if it's used correctly, it could be a godsend. But like in this support group type thing or whatever, I'm trying to find a word. I hate the term recovery groups. I just hate the term recovery. The other day somebody was congratulating her mother, for being in recovery. And the woman interviewing her said, well, how long has your mother been sober or clean? And she said, 40 years. And I thought to myself, well, what is she in recovery from? 40 years and she's still saying she's in recovery? Because so many people buy into all this nonsense out there. You're in recovery for the rest of your life. The rest of my life? Dude, I quit drinking 33 years ago. I got my shit together. I understand why I shouldn't drink, and I went out and, lived my life. Some parts of my life I lived pretty well. Some others I screwed up, but I did it sober. I'm not in recovery. Somebody wanted to argue with me back a while ago about, no, dude, you're still in recovery. What am I? I'm not in recovery. I had open heart surgery when I was 51 years old. They opened me up. They put a new valve in me, saved my life. They took out an aneurysm, an aortic aneurysm, put me back together 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I think I was able to drive. I went back into the gym, and I got on with my life. I recovered from my surgery, and I still have heart disease, but I don't go tell people, oh, poor me. I got heart disease. I had open heart surgery. Hell no, I recovered from my surgery. I went out. I abused alcohol. I realized it's not for me anymore because I couldn't control it. When I drank, I wanted that buzz, and I got that buzz. But unfortunately, the more I drank, it took me longer and longer to get that buzz. So, of course, I had to keep drinking more, and then I got the buzz I wanted. But by then, I just was out of control. So I don't do that anymore. And I know a lot of people are the same way. And most of the people that I hung out with in sobriety that were going to AA and that I still in contact with now aren't patting themselves on the back saying, look at me. They're all enjoying their life. It's the people that are looking for that attaboy, attagirl. Oh, you look so good. Oh, dude, you're so jacked and all this shit. That's going to end up fucking them up. It's nice for somebody to say good job. Just like if you're working someplace, right? It's nice to have somebody go, great job. I appreciate what you do for me. But if it's your job, you got to go and you do your job. And if you don't do your job, unfortunately, somebody tells you, to hit the road or whatever. But that's life. But if you want to go into all these groups and, post shit about, oh, I feel depressed. It's my third day of being sober. What should I do? And you can read, you read the post. Oh, well, go to a meeting, which, I think would be a good, a good move. Others go, just hang out here in the room. We'll help you. We'll post. Bullshit. Listen, getting sober is not a team effort. Yeah, there's going to be people there to help you. Okay? But getting sober and staying sober is up to the individual. I had some real good people that I was fortunate to meet when I went to AA. And I had a family that was supporting me too. But the bottom line was, it was up to me to make the right choices. And when times got very difficult in my life, when I wanted to pick up a drink, because I just wanted that mental escape, I just had to go, no, you better not. You better not. But I really want it because I'm hurting. I deserve it. My wife just left me. I've been 3 months sober. My wife left. With my kids, I'm hurting, which is a true story. I want a drink. And I shared in my book and everything, there was a bottle of vodka underneath the sink and that I found. And I poured the drink. And I was about to drink it. And then I remembered, fuck it. There's an AA meeting. I'm not going to do this. And I poured it down the drain, the drink down the drain. I grabbed the bottle, poured that down the drain, and I got my ass into an AA meeting. I was hurting. I was depressed. Like I said, my wife left with the kids, but I didn't pick up a drink. And I didn't go into AA and say, pat me on the back. I just went in, I grabbed somebody, and I said, dude, this is what I'm going through, man. And I told the person, I was like, I understand, man. I understand. Let's just talk, hang out for a little while. Calm you down. But I was proud of myself. I don't ask anybody else to be proud. I didn't pick up a drink. I didn't drink it. Okay, I might have picked it up, but I didn't drink it. But that's what you have to do. You can't look for other people to make that decision for you. You've got to do it. So if you're new to sobriety, I applaud you. Okay? Get your head on straight from the very beginning. All right? There's help out there. But it's totally up to you not to put the drink or the drug in you. Again, this saying saved my life. Don't drink or use no matter what, and no matter what means no matter what. There ain't no excuse for me to put a drink in me. I wasn't into drugs. So there was no excuse, no reason, no nothing for me to have to put a drink in me. And I was thankful that I understood that early on. And I've lived my whole life like that. And when people said early on, how did you get sober? I said, well, I'm in AA, or I went to AA. I stayed there for about 4 or 5 years. Then I went into the nightclub business, and my hours got changed around. And I was pretty secure in my not recovery. Actually, I'm saying recovery. In my sobriety. And once in a while, I would go in to see some friends and stuff. But I knew what I had to do to stay sober. And I did. No big deal. The only time I understand where I pat myself on the back is on August 31st of every year is my sobriety date. This year it'll be 33 years. The first one, back in 1993, was my first year of sobriety on August 31st. That felt the best. Man, I was like, I want a year. I want a year. And there were some people in the AA room. I remember a guy came up to me after I got my chip or my medallion. And he said, dude, you cost me $20. I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, well, there was a few of us that were betting that you wouldn't make a year. Because I was pretty fucked up my first year. I was going through a lot of shit. But I showed up, I talked to people, and I got through whatever I had to. But he lost because he thought I would not make it. And a couple other people came over and said, thanks a lot, Joey. I made $20 because I knew you would do it. And I believe everybody can do it. But don't look for that pat on the back. Do it for yourself. Do it so you can feel good about yourself. Do it because you're proud of what you're doing, your accomplishment, not what anybody else is doing. And yeah, if you can help somebody, help them. Now, if you are hurting and struggling a little, go someplace, get some help. I said AA. If it's drugs, go to NA, go to your church, go someplace to get some help. Stay the hell off of Facebook. Don't go to Instagram. You don't know any of those people. You don't even know if they're sober. The people that are telling you they're sober and they're coming up with all these suggestions, you have no idea if they're sober. You have no idea if they got sober, went back out, back and forth, back and forth. You don't have any clue. So don't look for the pat on the back. Don't look for the like. Don't look for somebody to tell you, yeah, you're sexy or you're gorgeous. Just get through your life and your sobriety. A little cliche, one day at a time, especially early on. Then go out and live your life. And don't focus your whole life around you're sober. I stopped thinking about not drinking years ago. I know a lot of people basically put their whole self-worth in the fact that they no longer drink alcohol or use drugs. Man, there's more to life than just not drinking or using. I don't believe the man upstairs made us to live our whole life running from a drink or a drug. I think if we make mistakes in our life, the man upstairs wants us to correct them. He's there to help. But then he wants us to get on with our life, not live in the past. Too many people live in the past. Too many people go back to their past. And a big reason, I'll go back to the earlier part of this video, I didn't realize it was this long, is the ego. Your ego can make you do things that you don't want to do. Keep your ego out of your sobriety unless it's healthy. And what I mean by healthy, for me, my ego was keep doing it, dude. Keep staying sober. Don't pick up that drink. You're the man. You're the man. That's what my ego was telling me when I wasn't picking up a drink. My ego doesn't tell me, come on, Joey, you can have just one. Come on, you know you want it. You were the life of the party when you were drinking. Look at those women over there at the bar drinking. Go on, just go buy them a drink, have one. I don't have to do that anymore. Okay, so get to that point. But whatever you do, stay the F off of Facebook if you're new in sobriety. Don't get in any of those groups, those sober groups. They're harmful to you. Trust me. If I thought they were good, I'd be here telling you, go check this one out. Go check this one out. I haven't seen any of them that are worth a shit because everybody wants to pat themselves on the back. Don't be that person. Get sober, enjoy your life, and be kind to people that are around you. Form a good circle of family and friends, and go enjoy your life without the drink or the drug. That's it. All right? Remember, I'm not a good salesperson when it comes to this stuff, but I do have a book out, Don't Drink or Use No Matter What. No matter what means no matter what. Keep coming back if you would like and subscribe. Now, I know I just got done telling people, don't worry about the likes. But from what I found out, the only way I can get my videos out there, the more people that like and subscribe, the more YouTube will send it in a different direction. And that's what I'm hoping for. So until the next time, man, just don't drink, don't use, no matter what. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Don't stress, live life one day at a time. Don't drink or drug and you'll be fine. When life gets rough and you're feeling stuck, don't drink or use no matter what. Think about your serenity. Be grateful for your sobriety. Staying sober with Papa Joey. We're staying sober with Papa Joey. We're staying sober with Papa Joey. It's all about your sobriety.